Hey everybody, my name is Nyala. Welcome back to my channel. Since you clicked on this video, you most likely already know about the Travis Scott Astroworld Festival situation that happened over the weekend. Terrible situation, of course. Devastating that there was even one loss of life would have been too many. Hey, this is me from the future jumping in real quick. I just wanted to say that I feel like this kind of turned into a little bit of a deep dive with a bunch of video clips that kind of sum up what we know so far about the festival. So I just tried to make as many clear points and observations as I could without making this video turn into a whole hour long. So I do encourage you to stick it out through the whole video just so you don't miss anything interesting. A lot of the stuff that I've saved to my phone within the last 24 hours, I kind of just want to rewatch and review with you guys. I guess one thing that I want to just kind of start out by saying is that I'm not an avid festival goer, especially not in recent years, around 17 to say 23 years old. During those years, I did go to a bunch of different music festivals here in New York mainly. Electric Zoo or EZoo on Randall's Island, Mad Decent Block Party in Brooklyn. Basically my favorite DJs or producers, whatever you want to call them, are Yellow Claw from Amsterdam. I love their music, so I pushed my way. I was one of those people who would not be a pain in the ass, but I would wedge my way through people to get to the front whenever Yellow Claw came on at a festival. Or when I went to see specifically just Yellow Claw with Fetty Wap at Pier 96, I wedged my way all the way up to the front because I was by myself anyway. So here's me screaming my head off right at the front edge of the Yellow Claw concert. I was, pretty packed in. Being packed together at a festival or a concert like sardines is pretty much commonplace. But at Astroworld, the level that it was happening is the most suffocating, stifling, heartbreaking. No one is worth paying to see at that level of being so stifled on top of each other. It looks and feels like a living hell, and that is exactly what so many people are describing it as.
Obviously, nobody's trying to take away from the deaths by bringing up conspiracy theories, but it was an atmosphere that was unlike anything I've ever felt before in my life. It felt like fear, it felt like hell, it felt like demons were around me. It just felt unsafe, it felt scary. It turned literally bloody as soon as Travis came out. People were smushed, like smushed. If your hands were up, they were gonna stay up. They could not come back down. We had to literally wait out the song to breathe, bro. I was towards the middle back. Thankfully, it was not that crowded, but I still felt that way. I can't imagine what the people at the front felt like. It was hell on earth. That's the only way I can explain it.
The whole design and setup of this festival just seemed to be set up for failure from the start. This is the third Astroworld. This isn't their first run. Drake came out on stage with him. Whoever else was in the lineup, SZA and Lil Baby or whoever else. This is a multi-million-dollar event. Everyone knows that Travis Scott takes the moshing and the rage to a whole nother level. With the amount of money and experience and time and all the planning and the designing and everything that they have going on, if there's anyone who should be well prepared for moshing, having crazy kids packed on each other and pushing each other, if there's anyone who should be the most prepared for a situation like that, it is Travis Scott and his people and whoever's producing this event. So you're not going to be prepared with 50 defibrillators, 100 of them. I don't want to sound ridiculous, like, oh, they should have an entire hospital pretty much set up on site. That's not the case, but you know what you're in for. My camera was low on battery yesterday, so I figured I'd just start fresh today because there are so many important videos left to go over. Before we keep looking at how chaotic it was to be in the audience, I wanted to look at something very bizarre and strange: Travis Scott's behavior. You might have already seen this main clip of him temporarily pausing the show just for a minute to have someone who passed out get taken out of the audience. It is genuinely one of the weirdest things I've ever seen come out of a concert.
Somebody jump in, come on, security, get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it,
Under what circumstances is it okay for an artist to be standing on stage singing something into the microphone while literally staring down at someone having a medical emergency? It looked like Travis was on something. Or you know when people say someone looked possessed? That's what it looked like. Travis started things out weird right off the bat. Instead of doing the normal, usual thing of saying, stop the music, we need some help over here, he says to his sound people, hold, 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 just play it slowly. We need somebody's help over here.
Just play it slowly. We need somebody to help him. Somebody passed out right here.
Then, while waiting for security to actually get over to the person, the background music stopped for maybe 2 seconds. And this fucker had the audacity to turn to the stage and tell his sound people again, keep it going, just... I don't know what that second thing is that he mumbled, but I could not believe that he really felt the need in this moment, during these circumstances, to turn and say, keep it going.
Back up. Security, somebody help jump in real quick. Keep going. Just keep it just right.
You have to remember, what Travis says goes. So that creepy synth organ music starts up again in the background, and he stands and stares down at this lifeless looking body and sings those yeah notes, getting lower and lower and sounding more minor and deep and dark and weird. When you're a musician or an artist, you know what you're doing with the mood, and you know whether you're making things feel lighthearted or if you're making things sound creepy and dark and grim. The whole thing is just the most creepy, unnatural thing that I've ever seen a performer do during a distressing situation like that. I wanted to break down this next clip step by step real quick before actually playing it. The other major ridiculous thing that Travis Scott did was incite more craziness in the crowd, and he had 2 guys launch their asses off the stage to jump into the crowd to do crowd surfing, I guess. He did this right after standing and staring and pointing for 20 whole seconds at what is clearly an ambulance or an emergency vehicle trying to make its way through the crowd. And he looks around and he says, "What the fuck is that?" Then he totally disregards the emergency vehicle and says, "Where are my guys, man?" And he says, "Come on," like he's calling over his dog. And when his 2 guys do finally come over to him on stage, we'll probably never know exactly what they really said to him. But we do get to see Travis's response to them, and he immediately tells them, all that. In translation, he's basically brushing off whatever the guys just told him, and he's saying something along the lines of, we're not gonna do all that, or I don't want to hear all that. Now, this is just speculation, but I would assume that at this point in the concert, if everything was going normal, that's the time for the 2 guys to come out on stage. They'll meet with Travis, they'll all rage, and they'll jump in the crowd and do everything as normal. But the 2 guys probably didn't walk out there on cue because, most likely, of the chaos that was going on in the crowd. So when Travis says, "Where are my guys, man? Come on," they finally do walk out. They might have said something to him like, "Bro, we can't jump in the crowd right now. Look what's going on. We gotta wait for the ambulance stuff to finish, and then we can keep going." We obviously don't know what they said, but all we do know is that Travis brushed them off with the all that. And remember, what Travis says goes. So he continues the show, just acting like business as usual, as if there isn't literally an emergency vehicle in his crowd. Here's the video.
What the fuck is that? If everybody good, put a middle finger up in the sky. Okay, where my guy, man? Come on. Hey, all that. 2 hands to the sky. 2 hands to the sky.
2 hands up, y'all. 2 hands up.
Y'all know what y'all came to do. Chase me, let's go. I'm gonna make this motherfucking ground shake, goddammit.
Whoa.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 5, 4,
Now this is another mainstream major video that most people have seen already of a boy and a girl who tried to desperately get a cameraman's help, and the guy just waves them off. So I'll play a short version of the video now.
If that's okay with you real quick. Chase me, let's do it.
This is a prime example of how this entire thing was a massive failure in so many different areas. It makes me think, from a business perspective, what is the usual protocol for a guy in that cameraman position? For a situation where a concert goer might climb up to him with some concerning news. Is the protocol for him to just brush off and ignore anyone who bothers him under all circumstances? Or maybe there isn't even any set protocol for someone in his position because he usually isn't a person who would ever really come in contact with one of the audience members. So then that leaves you to wonder, did this guy hear this concerning news from these two distressed kids trying to plead with him and he took it upon himself to just shoo them away? Or was there some rule given out by the higher ups to all of the staff that this show has to go on tonight no matter what happens, under any and all circumstances? No matter which option it is out of the two, it's not good. And that's a running theme during every single thing that went wrong during this concert. There are always 2 or 3 explanations for why a certain thing might have happened, and no matter which option you choose, none of the explanations are good enough and none of them are excusable. Something that's very important to look at, especially after something like this happens, is the energy and the persona that an artist puts out there. Symbolism and vibes in general are important and they have meaning, whether it's a famous artist or your coworkers or someone random that you just meet on the street. The way people present themselves and the kind of energy and symbols and words that they use all has some sort of meaning. So even if it's just art or creative expression, when it comes to a performer, a good majority of details in their work are completely intentional and usually have a deeper meaning. And there can only be so many coincidences. I'd love to hear some sort of explanation and just know exactly what Travis means by this "see you on the other side" imagery. If you look at the event flyer, you immediately see all the typical, usual conspiracy theorist type of symbolism. The eyes and the hands could be a reference to the all-seeing eye, and then there's the triangle shapes and like a portal in the middle of this cave thing, and there's people getting led into it like they're getting led into the void. But let's just disregard all of that typical conspiracy stuff. The main thing that I noticed today is that every single piece of text on the flyer is written horizontally, it's written normal. The one and only thing that's written vertically on the right side is "see you on the other side." I think there's pretty much a consensus on what "see you on the other side" usually means, but just to play devil's advocate, on a flyer to promote an upcoming event, maybe you can take the term to be "I'll see you later on the other side, I'll see you at the event once we're there." But then once you're physically at the festival, what is the purpose or the meaning of having "see ya on the other side" in the middle of that portal looking thing on the stage? The only thing that makes sense for that from a creative standpoint is that it means during my show you're going to be transported to another realm. I'll see you on the other side at this new place, this new dimension. Like how on the flyer it says "open your eyes to a whole new universe." So that whole narrative only would have made sense if the set design and the stage actually had something to do with looking like you're in a different planet or in a different world or a galaxy with stars or something. But no, what do they end up doing with the stage? It looks like a big blob of a mountain with a cave in it. Sometimes with the redness and the flames all around it, it kind of looks like a volcano erupting. And at the very start, just to build things up right before he comes out on stage to have this whole crescendo, there's the eagle or whatever bird it is flying in flames. What kind of whole new universe looks like that? And since this multi-million-dollar stage setup wasn't even decorated to look like a whole new dimension, galaxy, universe, then what does "see you on the other side" even mean anymore? The music that plays before the main set on the main stage at any festival or concert is usually 99% of the time the exact same genre, at least, of who you're about to see later on. But this was apparently the music that was played for hours and hours before Travis's set.
So I'm moving my computer, like fix it. Yeah, this guy does this. And then basically
Tons of people said that all they were trying to do, like usual, is get to the stage a few hours early, get up close before it gets crowded. So this weird frequency, repetitive, techno rave type of annoying beat is what they're gonna play for the audience for hours and hours leading up to a hip-hop set? We're not in an underground drug rave in Amsterdam or Germany right now. This is an annual festival open to families and young kids and everyone who wants to see hip-hop Fortnite Travis Scott. Everyone said that being forced to sit through that music for hours was giving them anxiety, causing headaches, just causing general agitation and making people argue with each other and fight with each other, making their heart rate go up. By 9:30 10:38 p.m., the local emergency officials labeled the concert as a mass casualty incident, but Travis kept performing until 10:10 or 10:15 p.m. How does the plug not just immediately get pulled on any event once it gets labeled as a mass casualty incident? I've been to so many concerts and shows over the years. I'm talking about even small things like with only 1,000 people in attendance, 500, 5,000. And just within my own specific experiences, I have seen artists and sometimes a crew member or a production person use their microphone and their platform to say, put the lights up, the party's over for a second, if you guys don't all calm down and take 10 steps back, we are going to stop the show. But yet at this big festival, every single person in the chain of command all completely failed to take some sort of action, and best believe they all knew exactly what was going on from the moment that it started, from the first heart attack, from the first person passing out. Word spreads faster than wildfire between all the staff and production people at events like this, especially at something of this scale. Just to compare and contrast how Travis acted, here are some clips that people have been circulating, showing a few other major artists having a normal, professional, human reaction to an incident happening in the crowd.
Yo, paramedics! Somebody's having a seizure, we need paramedics! Yo, call paramedics, come on! I just went back there for a cool minute. He's gonna be good. I stayed with him until he's gonna be good. They say he's good. Do me a favor, if anybody's doing any type of drugs or anything, drink water. Please drink water, bro. You don't want no crazy shit happening to you. I'm gonna pass out water bottles after this next song. Drink some fucking water, bro, please. Let's go.
Hey, everybody over here, calm down, back up. Everybody back up, look. Watch out! Y'all fucking idiots run out of bars. Pick those girls up, bro. Pick the girls up! Pick the fucking girls up! What's wrong with you? Back up! Back up! Back the fuck up! Put your phone out, you fucking asshole! Back the fuck up! Back up! You're like a fucking idiot. Get up. The show must go on. Back the fuck up!
Stop. Someone's fainted again. Excuse me, medic, right in the middle. This happened last night as well. Are you alright? Can you see? Can someone look like they care, please? Is anyone coming to you? Has it been sorted? I can't come. They're not listening to me. Can you go? Someone's on the way. Can you move out of the way for the medics, please? Can you see them coming through? There they are in white. Thank you, guys. Make way. They're coming up behind you here. Are they alright? Thank you. Guys, this is rolling in the deep.
Hold up. Yo, we got a little problem up here.
Pick them up right
Everybody
now.
up. Sorry, you guys. We gotta look out for safety first, for real. Nobody gets hurt. That's number one. We'll play this shit, the whole shit again if you guys get up, if you guys are all right. Okay, watch yourselves.
Hey, yo, man. We know we've been stressing all night about being cool, and this is the reason why. Let's go over it one more time. When someone falls, what do you do? When someone falls, what do you do? That's right, people.
You need to keep your crowd in check. And Travis did the exact opposite of that by telling the crowd to go nuts and go crazy while a medic is trying to get into the crowd. It just makes no sense. Do you see how asinine that is? And I almost forgot, there were these imbeciles dancing and jumping around and getting crunk on top of the vehicles, the emergency vehicles in the crowd. And this is during Drake and Travis being on stage at the same time. Neither Travis nor Drake yelled into their microphone, "Hey, get off the car! Stop dancing on the car, they're trying to get through." What are people gonna say next? That Travis and Drake both didn't even notice that there were 3 guys on top of a car standing about 6 feet higher than everyone else? They definitely saw that shit clear as day from the stage, and they were gonna turn a blind eye to it, because you know what? It goes along with all the rage, and look how hyped the crowd gets at a Travis Scott concert. When being that ratchet and raging all the time is your only personality trait, then you really need to get your priorities straight. Here are 2 TikTok videos that I screen recorded back to back from the same user. The videos honestly just speak for themselves. Plus, you gotta love how TikTok even noticed how distressing it was, and they put that little content warning on the beginning of the video. I had to click, yes, I still want to watch the video. Just, you'll see.
My Astroworld experience.
another TikTok of someone showing their sneakers before versus after being at Astroworld. With all the shows that I've ever been to in my entire life, I've still never had my shoes be even 25% of the way to the dirtiness that those shoes were at. You can see that those sneakers were stepped on 1,000 times by the bottom of other people's shoes. And now, just to end it off, a couple other weird coincidences. Here's some more lovely promotional material from Mr. Scott himself, posted on his Instagram. Who knows what lies beneath the surface? The true dystopia is here. When the end arrives, it's really the beginning. What the fuck is that? I don't really have anything else to say about that. As if it couldn't get any worse or any weirder, on November 5th. On that day, Travis dropped a new music video on his channel, and the song is called none other than Escape Plan. Go check out the music video for yourself if you want, and especially read through the comments, because everyone's mentioning, wow, you should have gave your audience members an escape plan. With all this talk about bad energy coming from Travis Scott and the show in general, when I was looking at the flyer, I noticed that at the bottom it says the name of the venue is NRG Park. And I was like, NRG, oh, it's 3 letters, but it sounds like energy when you say it fast. And you know how stadiums and places like that are always in a deal with a company to be named after that company. So yeah, NRG Park is named for NRG Energy. And Travis's statement video that he came out with, I'm not even going to do you the disservice of being forced to look at his lackluster, disingenuous little talk, but I'll put the link to it in the description below. You can go see it if you haven't already. So all I want to say is prayers and love to the ones who passed, to any of the families involved, to any of the injured people. One of the last main things that is breaking my heart right now is that a 9-year-old boy named Ezra Blount is in the hospital in a medically induced coma on a ventilator right now. He was up on his dad's shoulders, and eventually his dad passed out from being crushed by the crowd. When his dad finally woke up and came around again, his 9-year-old kid was nowhere to be found. Can you imagine the panic? Then they were finally able to track down the kid at the hospital, and right now he's fighting for his life. This is just one prime example of how Travis Scott's partnership with Fortnite last year must have drawn so many new young little kids, new fans to Travis and his shows. And that right there shows how irresponsible Travis and his team were. To first of all even allow kids that young into the festival, and then second of all to not have Travis tone down his rage persona now that his demographics of his audience have completely changed. I'll be praying for all the families involved, and I hope the lawsuits come in fast and hot and hit them in their pockets where it'll hurt them the most.